Ahoy, my hearties. How you doing? Oh, I haven't even turned on my lights. Jeez. Alright, that's one better lighting situation. That's one better lighting situation. Hello, good morning. I'm going to have to run out for a second and grab my coffee off the bench because I was in a bit of a rush. But I wanted to get the stream up and running and live so you knew it was happening. Good morning, all y'all. Alright, I'm going to grab my coffee. I'll be 1 minute. Alright, I'm going to grab my coffee and y'all should be dropping a hello in the chat so I know you're there. Back in one. Oh, DJ Doms. Hello. How is you all? How are you? All right. All right, I got my little workstation set up. This is good. Don't know how I feel about the camera. Anyway. Properties, configure, maximum zoom. That's better. All right, okay. So it copied in a card and everything. Cool. That's YouTube admin you don't really care about. Hey, Julie, how you doing? I reckon that this Deep Liquid tune is so close to being done. There are a few things that stuck out to me. And eradicate. Firstly, when I load the project, it complains about ProQ3 not being found. So I really want to find that. Same with Saturn and same with LFO tool. And just, hey, good to hear. Yeah, and so I want to find these VSTs and just annihilate them. I don't think, I mean, they're not harming anything because they're just sitting in a group somewhere doing nothing, disabled because I don't have them. But if they're supposed to be doing something, maybe I should take a little look at that. The other thing that I want to do today is look at the texture of the bass. Oh man, I just can't hit click targets in Windows at the moment. Look at that. I don't get it. Maybe those top right of windows are different than the rest of a window. Oh yeah, I should talk about what's been going on. So I started working a regular job again, which has been really cool. But that's 2 days a week, so that's just annihilated all of my spare time, which, because I haven't been working, I've just been able to really focus on YouTube and music and stuff. It's been great. But like I'm now down, 20% of my time, 30% of my time. It's like, oh, this is hard. So, bear with me if things get erratic over the next few weeks while I find the new normal. I'm going to continue streams because that's pretty easy. So, and I'm going to kind of, I really want to make sure that my EP for October is done by sort of September. Like September at the latest. So I'm going to really double down on working on that EP. And in fact, live streams might become a bit longer and a lot more focused about finishing a tune. I'm going to try and get the bones of a tune done every week, if not finish a tune every week. And so that might be 2 separate tunes. I might be starting one and finishing one, but I really need to bash out like 10 tunes. And so if you look at the number of weeks remaining, let's look at that. So we are here and I want like 10 tunes done by September-ish. Well, let's just count the weeks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, and then we're in September already. And so like I want September for finishing up and remastering and doing any little tweaks that I need to do. And then I want to launch an EP in October. So I've got like 11 weeks to get 4 or 5 tunes done. So I really want to smash out like 8 or 10 mostly finished tunes and then pick the best 4 or 5 and put those together. So the next couple of weeks can be like pretty fun for streaming. I'm just going to be absolutely smashing it as much as I can. But that does mean that I need to figure out ways to be more efficient with my YouTube videos. So yeah, we'll see how they turn out. I'm trying some experiments over the next few weeks to see if I can make them easier and faster for me to churn them out and then get back into writing music. Anyway, that's what's going on with me. Other stuff I want to do in this session, bass tones feel gritty. So I think maybe I distorted the main bass. From memory, it was quite a smooth texture, and I think I've overdone it. Hey, thanks, dude. Yeah, so I really want to wrap up work on this Deep Liquid tune as much as possible soon. And Elemental's got some stuff on it, some study stuff. So I'm not expecting to get much feedback from him for a couple of weeks. So I really want this session to be polishing it up to the point that like it's just ready for that last round of mixing. And yeah, like, hey, how you doing? Yeah. OBS is pretty easy once you get it set up, but yeah, it's a pain to learn all the ins and outs of it. And especially if you're doing all the Streamlabs integration, it takes a little while to figure out what alerts you want to happen and what you don't. My setup's still pretty ropey. Bass tones feel gritty. Snare is garbage. We need to fix that. Oh, cool. I'm going to leave the heater on for a little bit, but later I'll start overheating and you remind me I left the heater on when I start to complain about how hot it is, right? Because it's like 1 degree outside. Oh, it was 1.4 before. It's probably 2 now. All right, so that operator channel was just so I could test my keyboard, which is working as far as I'm aware. Let's just have a listen and see if anything else comes up that we need to fix. Oh, the other thing I need to fix is volume of intro kick stuff looks crap on Mixdown. Hey, I can explain that too. Let me bring up the bounce that I made. So I made a bounce to send to Elemental, who wrote the tune. And yeah. But you found out after working on it all week. Yeah, it just takes time. Yeah, look, this is the intro and it's louder than the drop. So we got to tidy that up. It's mainly a bass growl, but yeah, it just looks like crap because the intro should be almost as loud as the drop. Then leave a little gap and then we go into the actual heavier, harder section. So let's have a listen back. See what else we want to fix. Actually, we'll do it from the Mixdown. Hey, Coyote. Good to see you. Hey, Angel. Yeah, you hear how the bass is a little bit too distorted or something. I think I probably stuffed it up. Yeah, cool. Okay, I really like most of it now. Whoop. I was going to highlight bits. I can't highlight bits in there. I think first drop is solid. I think this moment sucks. I think that kick's too loud. The hat that starts here is too loud. Obviously, this needs to be tweaked. I think there's just probably way too much sub in that bass growl. So maybe we can take out some of that because it's hard to judge sub in these headphones. And then, yeah, you saw all the little notes that I put down. So fair enough. I guess we're just going to have to start on them. The other thing that I wanted to mention was that it's going to be hard for me to do the final mix down on stream, and I don't know what to do about it. So I'm totally open to input from people about how to do it. But because these are what they are, I'm going to run some like headphone correction curves when I do the final mix down, because I feel like the hats are way too bright in this. But I don't think that they are. Like when I meter it, it's okay. But basically the short version, now let me get a bit of the... Like, I think that's okay as a spectrum. But you see all this stuff is divergent from this, and this is mainly hats, and we just need to bring up this region. But like, for me to deep dive on the spectrum of this tune, I'm going to need to run some corrective stuff, which is going to make it sound weird if you don't happen to be using the same headphones as me. So I don't know if that's like an interesting stream to do or not do, because it will sound terrible, but you might get more of an insight into what I'm looking for and when I'm finishing this up. So yeah. Oh, and the other thing is that in terms of panning, this tune is very like stereo mono. And what I mean by that is that at the moment there's not a lot of panning going on. There's a bit, but not as much as I'd like. So I'd like to move things around in the stereo space. And to do that, to make it easier on myself, I've got like this crossfeed setup that it's too hot now. I've got this crossfeed setup that I want to run to make it more natural in my headphones, but then it will make it sound weird if you're listening on the stream. So yeah, if you've got any thoughts about whether I should or shouldn't do that stuff on stream, even if it does sound a bit weird, hit me up. Is there a good way to find these plugins? Ableton Live, find missing plugins. Is there an easy way to find them? Here's a forum post. Blank device on a rack. Show device slots. Hey, Pete. Yeah, man. Music production every 9 a.m., dude. It's the only way to fly. Plug view. Oh my god. So there's so there is a way to edit the ALS and find those plugins. All right. Well, I can do that on my own time. Max for Live. There's a Max for Live device that will find these plugins for us. Hang on, let's see if I can download it. Does he want money? He wants money. I don't want to pay money. Yeah, man. I started doing like an hour of production before work like 2 years ago, and it was the most productive thing I've ever done. And I started it because on days off I used to like have a nap at like 2 or 3 in the afternoon, and I'd wake up and I'd just like bash out the best stuff. And I was like, oh man, am I like more productive straight after I wake up? Is that something I've just learned about myself? Do solo, and I'll find those plugins solo off stream because it's kind of a bit lame. Let's attack the snare first. And so I was like, man, I might actually be more creative and more productive like straight up after I wake up. So then I started testing it by just working like in the mornings, and it was really good for me. And also the other reason to do streams at 9 a.m. is that it's not super obsessively late for everywhere else in the world. If I did streams at midday these days, most of the world couldn't catch it. Which is balls. But soon the time zones will switch back. When's that? March? October. And then, yeah, and then 9 a.m. is a really nice time for most of the world to catch up to Aussie time. Let's have a look at what these channels are, because I think we just need to, yeah, live streams show up in recommended videos, which is awesome. You really do, you get a lot of juice out of doing live streams. Okay, so that's a clap. I think that's just a stock snare, so we can, okay, it's a hat layer. So, yeah, okay, so this is the problem. That sounds beefy enough, but in here, it sounds a bit weak. I want all this. Oh, there's still... Okay, I'm good with that being just a hat layer, but this, I want all of that, and this, don't know if we need the noise that low, but we want like 2K, yeah, one up here. And then, so what's on this main channel? Do we scrape off the lows here? I'm liking it. It just, we need to fade this stuff, I reckon. Get a really clear transient popping on that. Okay, I'm trying to figure out why it sounds not right to me. If we mute these, like that's the basis of our sound here. Where are you though, Doms? Are you in the UK? I've kind of just assumed that that's the case for most people because it's 70%, oh no, 30 something percent of my viewers are UK. Cool, so that's a little garbage transient, which we might process a bit more. And then we can really shape this. Like, it feels like it's flamming a little bit because it comes all the way down and then these come up. So maybe I should just not do this surgery. I think maybe I should just find some better samples and start from there. Main snare, let's just record this in real quick. Yeah, so that's not a great idea. Let's just record that. So if I was trying to smooth this out, there's just a bit of a... All right, so what does this look like? It looks like that, which is probably better. We just want this to come over, fade in a bit faster. Yeah. So I'm trying to like create a decent snare out of these components. And I don't know if it can really do. Yeah, you're in London. Yeah, yeah. So it's like 1 a.m., a bit after 1 a.m. for you. Hey, Bart, how you doing? I'm going to make a new snare from scratch. So let's see if this like Triforce snare. Show in places. Oh, okay, so it's not a stock thing. I think that snare is half our problem. Let's find something similar in the stock library. Drums, drum hits, snare articulation. Oh. Let's unmanipulate this. Hey Bart, I've seen a bunch of your videos this week of you wearing a suit. What's going on, man? You going corporate? I love these NPC snares, and like I just don't want to use them again. I reckon NPC 5 could be similar. I'm going to scroll down to the lesser used part of the snare collection so that I don't just use the same thing again. Oh, that's got some weight. Right. So we need to find the fundamental of this guy. Let's get a new EQ. There are genes attached. Good, good, good. Okay, so that's sort of a C. So let's pitch this guy. So he's sort of a C as well. So he's a G sharp currently. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4. That gets us to a C up here. But we want to double that, so we want another 12. So we go 16. All right, and then we go to, oh, warps off. Sounds a bit unnatural, but. Cool, so they're pitched kind of similar. Let's get rid of that notch, that bell. Right, and there's already a hat in this, well, a tambourine in this snare, so I'm not going to include the hat layer. But I think the clap layer is pretty good, and we'll turn this way down. Look at that, that's a happier looking snare. Let's find the original. Okay, so can I show in Explorer? Cool. So, oh, that doesn't look as garbage as what we were getting before. All right, and then if I record this. So we've gone from this snare to that snare. That certainly feels like it's hitting a bit harder. I don't know if anyone, I can't hear the transient properly because I'm on headphones. But I like the idea. And in terms of EQ, what do they look like? Yeah, that's got a bit more of a fundamental, which I think is what I want. It doesn't have the snare rattle. Let's get like a rattle layer. Actually, we reuse the Triforce layer as just the rattle. So we can take out, why is this a garbage color? Green. Yeah, it's pretty, like I was just saying before you lot turned up, that I really want to start work on my October. Oh yeah, and but I owe you some updated stings for your radio, which I will do soon, but not this week. They are on my this month list though. Cool, and then this feels like we could just pull out a bit of load. Hey, side drop, how you doing? That's about a snare. Just got a bit more whack to it. Yeah. All right, cool. I reckon I'm going to call that. Oh, so we got transient master, we got glue compressor. So we can push this a bit. Whoops, we got to come up here. Bit less. Yeah, get some volume. Oh, right, it's turned down. Hang on. So this is better, this is spikier. Yeah, so I've been having some like interesting ideas about snares and transients lately. I'm going to group this, and we're just going to chuck this other one in here, and then we'll mute the original, and that way we can switch back and forwards, and we can just see how it feels. We're going to turn this stuff off. Rebuilding. And we're going to turn that one off because that's just resampling. Okay, let's try the old snare, new snare. This extra processing on here, which doesn't make so much sense. Maybe it does make sense. This needs to be in here, and we've got a transient shaper. No, we don't have a transient. All right, and then so let's just tidy up the EQ on this. I don't know, I don't think it's that hard to produce. It's just there's so many little areas of it, like yeah, you just like, you've got to balance like 40 or 50 things at all times, which that's what makes it hard. But each of the individual components is not that tricky. But, you know, like I haven't made something that I'm super like, yeah, this stands up yet. So I guess it's harder than that. It is like, it just depends what aspects of it you're into. Like if you just like finding a good riff and rinsing it, then yeah, like all you got to do is find the good riff and then you're off. That's a tune. But if you try and get super technical, yeah, then it can get a bit harder. Oh, and Angel asked if I've tried MJ UK Junior. I have, but not much. Not enough that I could say that I know it well. I'm not happy with the snare, which is driving me bonkers. I think think it's to do with the balance of the levels. Yeah, sweet mate. I will check it for later. Let's bring this down like... Maybe that gives us a bit more of a balance. Maybe even like take it... Yeah, that makes it less thwacky. Okay, cool. So what I did was I turned down the main transient and main tone of this thing. Yeah, well, like, I just don't want to be that guy that's saying, like, my snare's garbage, but yeah, it's where we're at. Let's grab this and bring it in here and normalize it. And then okay, that's a bit better. At least it's got a fundamental. I don't want to waste the whole morning. Oh, I already have on one snare. Let's leave that there. All right, the intro kick. Let's fix that because that's real easy. Actually, let's order these in order of how much mental energy they're going to take to do. Because diving deep on that snare is stupid. I got easy stuff I can fix. Those are all real easy. Bass tones, that's less easy, but volume of intro kick stuff looks crap. Yep. Intro hat's too loud. Remove second sweeps from the drop. Yep. And that final polish we're not going to do on stream, I don't think, but we'll see. All right, so let's just do the easy stuff. There's a click in the breakdown. It's right here. Oh, I can't hear it in this. Can I really hear it in this? I think it's back here. Oops. Yeah, I think it's just filters. Yeah, I don't think it's something to worry about. It might fix itself up. Intro kicks are too loud still. Yep, I agree with that. Let's go find intro kicks. Intro kicks is here. Hopefully that sorted it. 6 dB might be a bit much. Let's resample it and just check what it looks like. I'm not sure. Yeah, see how all this is as loud as this? I'm not sold on it, but we can kind of tweak that. Like in the pre-master, I can just turn the whole intro down a dB or so. I don't like that being as loud as the main kick. But what's going on? It's just that one synth. So I'm just trying to get like the broad strokes right. It doesn't have to be perfect. Yeah, I think it's this guy in here. I reckon if we take out a little bit of this, it'll probably help. I'm going to turn that off and just think about it at mix down, because I reckon I don't want to, like, if I apply that processing in that channel, it'll affect everything. Although there's only 4 or 5 moments. Cool. Drop 2 moment is garbage. I agree with that, actually. When drop 2 starts, it just sounds terrible. Oh, over here. And I know I spent some time on this last session trying to get this first hit to be different. Like, it's almost like we just want to filter that in so that we don't get the percussiveness of the first note, but it just swells in. But that does make it sound a little bit weird. And there's a vocal that used to sit over that. Is it turned off? It's this. And that's just a bit too sudden. So why does this sound not right? What happened? So maybe these atmospheres? I'm just not sure how that's supposed to roll. Let's hear more of it so it makes a bit of rhythmic sense to me. Okay, so maybe a little snare roll or something that just leads into that main snare again. I like the gap, and I like that it starts on a snare rather than odd. Yeah, I like the fact that, oh yeah, okay, I remember doing that. I kind of brought the volume of that snare down so that it's less jarring. Editing EQ curves in the wrong channel. Brilliant. Why is that one so quiet? I'm baffled by that. Anyway, I need to stop messing with this now. I'm just going to have to leave that drop 2 moment as it is, because at least we've filtered it in. It sounds okay. Maybe it will sound better in context when I'm not like super used to it, because I've already had this open for an hour. Yeah, final polish I reckon is off stream. Bass tones feel gritty. Intro hat's too loud. Let's go fix the intro hats. Do they start here? Oh, so they're different hats than the breakdown. Well, that's cool, but I reckon what we'll do is we'll just steal all this because it's essentially the same thing. It just starts a little bit later, so we'll crop it. And then if we turn all of this off, if it's possible, that's made it worse. All right, let's go back to what we had, which is these hats here. And is it? Okay, that's texture. Oh, is it this? Oh, it's that. Right, well, we can just turn that down. Jeez. Cool, that's a lot better. It's way more subtle, which is cool. Let's hit that. Second sweeps from drop 1. Yeah, so those sweep sounds are, I think, vocal edits that, yeah, this little noise. I really like them in drop 1. I just want them to be less frequent. Hey. How you doing, Kratos? Yeah, cool. I think maybe it's just in that first one I want them to be half, and then the rest is fine. Cool. That's those. Right. Intro kicks. We took care of that. Can we bring the whispered vocal? Yeah, so the whispered vocal is the bane of my existence because it's awesome. It's this. I really like the actual vocal bit, but I don't want the pad to be overriding. Maybe we can bring it back like this. Yeah, cool. And I'm also wondering if I can extract the vocal from here by using some mid-side processing. So let's give it a crack. Because I'm pretty sure that the vocal's on the left. Yeah, sweet. Gain that right up. Cool, that's just the sides. So if I take just the left. Cool. And put it on the left. On my right then. Why does that sound weird? We should be able to balance that separately. Anyway, we've kind of got that isolated now. So if we put this back how it was. Hey, thanks, Brad. So now we got some control over that vocal. Might freeze this track. Thanks, Brad. I've been trying to make them so they're learnable from. Yeah, I'm really interested in how people are finding, because I feel like I do a couple of different styles of them. I haven't figured out a good way to collect feedback from people about those different styles. So I kind of just have to go off stats. Cool. Now we got a nice little vocal thing. We can loop that. Yeah. Yeah, cool. So that's the right timing. So now we can kind of fade this stuff out. So I want a fade that goes over two of them. So I think I have to consolidate. So I'll move that over there and switch it off for now. Consolidate. Cool. Now I can actually fade this one, which is to just get it out the way of the next one. Cool, that's way better. I was really trying to make that whispered vocal separate for a couple of weeks. I'm glad I got there in the end. I've been thinking a lot about stereo, so I'm all over that at the moment. Volume of intro kick stuff looks crap on Mixdown. It does, and I think it still might, but we've cleared some room, and I won't know until I look at the Mixdown next time. Bass tones feel gritty. They certainly bloody do. Oh, yeah. Percussion's tricky. It's all layers. We'll do a real quick recap of the percussion in here. Like so this group is percussion that happens some other time, I guess. Oh no, this is the main group, right? So if we shrink all of that stuff, we just pop open the percussion group. It just sounds like this. And it's all just layers. So there's these two texture things. And I don't really know how those were made because this is a tune by someone else that I've just been collabing on. The thing I found which changed it for me was simplifying my layers. Like I was doing weird little rhythmic, well, not weird, doing like simple rhythmic patterns. And I just stopped it and I just do straight like, like 16ths or 8ths. So in here, there's like velocity or volume manipulation on that, but the actual pattern is just straight ahead. Same with that one. That's just a straight pattern on every element. I mean, the elements are moving at different rates. So there's an 1/8 and a 16th element, and there's velocity manipulation on that. But it's just a straight pattern and another straight pattern. I don't know what this is. Oh yeah, that's just a noise layer. Yeah, but that's what I found really changed to the game in terms of hats for me. Even I think it was earlier this year that I was still unhappy with hats, and then I was like, okay, well, what's the simplest thing? Like, I realized I was trying to do all this syncopation and like more complex rhythms, and you just don't need it. Like the complex rhythms emerge out of the velocities of things shifting and winding across each other, but basically just straight patterns are like, yeah. Draw them straight across and then add a bit of velocity manipulation and then just keep layering. So you only need 2 or 3 layers. Hey, Bart. Yeah, man, no worries. Enjoy show. Do you want me to drop a plug to your show in chat? I can do that. Because like it's a DnB audience here, man. I think, well, that's a particular set. Schedule. Today's lineup. That's the one that I want. Is there a... There's not a link directly to your show. I bet you there is, but it'll be on my Facebook, which I don't have open. I will open my Facebook. No one look at what comes up. Phew. Crisis averted. Oh, there's not a direct link? Okay, cool. Well, I'm going to drop a link to the schedule page. That runs the Australia Represent DnB show on this page. Tune in for DJs from Australia playing DnB. Yeah, so I think it's, well, it says here that it's 3 a.m. to 5 a.m., but I don't know if it's decided. Yeah, it's decided I'm in Mexico City. I think if you're in the UK, it's actually a pretty reasonable time to be listening to music. So on GMT, it's 9 a.m. Yeah. No worries, man. Yeah, so if other people are interested in more Aussie DnB, that's where you can find it for sure. All right. No worries, man. Have a good day. Bass tones feel gritty. Right, let's work on bass for a bit, but I want to wrap this stream because as discussed at the very start of the stream, I want to wrap it eventually. As discussed at the very start of the stream, my time has become a bit constricted of late. So I want to get off here sometime before 12 so I can make some more YouTube videos this afternoon, which will be a good outcome for everyone. Now, I reckon this saturator, I reckon I added it and I reckon it's wrong. It just sounds a little gritty. I think it could be smoother. Where is the grit coming from? Drum bus. It is coming from drum bus. What's drum bus doing for us is doing some overdrive, some crunch. So it's not doing much for us. There's this. Oh, are you a sidechain? Get out. All right, let's give this some levels. I feel like I would have added that erosion as well, but anyway. Alright, and so what's happening EQ-wise in here? That's a little too beefy down here, but that's not this layer. Yeah, I replaced the kick last week, so it won't surprise me. Too clicky, not clicky enough? What's your feel? I think that makes that a little bit smoother, which is cool. This compressor's probably side chaining as well. We don't need him. Interesting. What's happening there? I feel like we get an not channel EQ. I feel like we get an extra thuds a bit and also the pop. All right, cool. Thanks, man. What's the release on that? Okay, so those are interesting compressor settings, but so that's just coming off the kick. No, I totally know what you mean. Yep. The yeah, like we can totally bring down the attack a little bit by just kind of rolling off a bit of the top end, and that will we can use a bell to change the kind of tone of the pop of the kick, and that's totally as soon as I have wondered about the tone of the pop of it as well. So when you're saying the same thing, I'm like, yep, cool. Maybe we can have a look at that and try and just manipulate it. It feels a little high at the moment. If we could bring it down so it's a little bit thuddier instead of poppier, that might be good. And the amount of bass in there is really a good bit of feedback. I haven't haven't played this loud on speakers, so I really can't say that I know what's happening with the sub. And I pitched the kick the other week so that the main note of it would fall like away from the sub of the bass line. But I didn't kind of like truncate the kick to control how much sub is in there. I'll explain all of this while I'm looking at it and I can point at what I'm talking about. But yeah, we can totally address both of those areas and just see if we can improve it a little. Yeah. See, this is the region that I think there's too much of. It's really hard. I don't want to do like tight cue moves in there. Maybe something like that. I just feel like when we got this up here at 200 plus and we got this up to 200, just feels like those are a bit too prominent. We could probably multiband compress them or something, but EQ's nicer. And like, I think we've had the discussion on stream recently about making small movements, as Ill Gates would call it, and fucking this tune, which I think is pretty much what we're down to at this point. So I need to stop it. Oh, my sound has gone real glitchy. Saving. Oh, that saved over last week's. Damn. 11. What? YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. I just don't believe these errors at all. Oh, unless something's gone horribly wrong in the last few seconds, but... Yeah, so we can totally control, let's do some like basic kick science. So this kick, I took off this bit at the start because the pop was already too high pitched. Like, I don't know if it'll be super obvious, but solo a loop and just loop it. So by just fading off the, well, clipping off the, clipping's a bad word to use because that has two meanings, but by moving the sample start position across and fading in a little bit, kind of reduce the clickiness at the start of the kick. And to control the, like, the lowness, we can see on an EQ that it's sitting down to here. We can kind of control that by letting it ring out or not. So this is an extreme example. So that concentrates the energy higher up because we don't get all the, like, I wish I could fit all this on one screen. Yeah, we don't play out the low tone as long. So by just kind of like shortening the kick up using the envelopes here, we can kind of like control how much of the sub comes through rather than EQing it out. So that might sound a bit better in context. I still feel like we can hear that pop is a little bit high. Maybe it is tuned a little too high. Now let's try it back here. Yeah, I like it better up. I think that's a bit of an improvement. It's kind of hard to tell. I'd prefer to do that on speakers, just because I can't judge the sub in these headphones at all. But I reckon that's a good call. I'm not even going to log that as something we did because I don't really think we really need to. Let's delete all that stuff. Let's hit save on this again. So I think we did an okay job of tidying this up a bit. Let's... actually, the snares didn't stand out to me just then. That's good. Yeah, cool. So what I'm watching in Spectrum now is that the sub is here, and the kick is sort of about the same level. I might turn up the drums 1 dB or so. But yeah, in Spectrum, I'm watching the hits of the sub and the kick, and then the snare is kind of up here somewhere. And just making sure that's a bit more obvious. I did notice at some point when I was trying to like locate the snare on the Spectrum using the old snare, it just didn't have a fundamental at all. Well, it just wasn't obvious, wasn't easy to pick out. But you can see that's the snare, right? Oh, hang on. Where's the snare at? There's the fundamental. Anyway, what's this then? Is there another layer? Oh, okay. Weird. Yeah. Cheers, man. No worries. Streams are fun. Alright, let's turn this back on. Cool. Yeah, so even in span you can... Whoop, let's get a bit of a play. Yeah, so you can see that the sub's hitting here, the kick is coming through in this little gap when it happens, and the snare's happening somewhere up here. And then I still don't really like that peak there. I'm going to have to figure that out. Where's it at? 1.5K. And that's sort of stuff that I want to do in the final polish. Don't know if it's worth doing that stuff on here. It's kind of interesting though, right? I reckon I might need to switch contexts and start making some more YouTube videos for next week. I think that might be the stream for the morning. So we fixed up the snare, fixed up the bass, and fixed up some little mix issues. I think we've got a pretty good tune here. I really was happy with isolating that vocal snippet. We might be able to use that somewhere else. Oh, we didn't fix drop 2, did we? Where is that vocal that we edited before? Is it in effects? It's this. Maybe we can chuck this in the drop. Oh. That actually works okay. Let's see if we can get the timing a little tighter. Yeah, no, that's too early. Yeah, I think that's about right. Cool. Well, that's an interesting little addition. Let's see how it feels next time we look at this. So I'm going to work on this off stream next week sometime. Yeah, and probably just finish up everything that I can. Like look at levels, spectrum, panning, and then just slam it into a masterer. Into a limiter. Oh, far out. This is why I need to end the stream. Getting my words all mixed up even. Let's hit a start point there. So this is swell. Cool. And so if we export all of this while I ramble for a minute, that'll work. Yeah, so I'll work on this off stream and do some frequency work, which is kind of hard to do on stream without making it sound like garbage to you guys, because I need to roll off the top end so I can work on it. And I need to do some crazy panning stuff. And then, so after that's done and I've got a decent pre-master, maybe I'll do a midweek stream of just slamming this thing into a final mastering chain, because I think people would be interested in that. So that will be... So I will work on this probably on Monday, and then there might be a random stream next Thursday to just finish this off. Or maybe I'll save it for Friday. Anyway, we'll see. Yeah, but that will wrap up the stream. I want to show you guys the waveform after this finishes bouncing so that we can see the improvement in the difference between the intro and the main drop. And then I'm just going to find these VSTs. So it might take me 10 minutes, but I'll just do that off stream and get rid of them. And then I'm going to make some more YouTube videos. So I've got two inspired buys that I know that I need to make. And then I want to do some 5 tricks with. I think I'm going to do multiband compression. If not, just straight out OT. Yeah, I want to do a video on this plugin I found. I was going to show you guys. When this finishes, I'll show you this plugin. It's crazy. Where's our new snare at? On Ableton. Cool. Yeah, check it out. DSEQ. Let's just improve that. So it finds resonances and it nukes them. So it's a lot like Soothe. I don't know if you've seen Soothe. But yeah, you give it a spectrum, which is the yellow line of where to operate. And then you tell it how much to improve your sound. So this is before, and this is after. So it's taken out like all of the spackle like resonances from like the original samples. You can set the like target slope. So basically that's a bias towards bass and up is a bias towards treble. It's actually the slope of the target EQ curve. So if you think about pink noise versus white noise, like 3 is the default, which is pink noise, which is fine. Selectivity, I don't know what that does. Treat frequencies more or less independently. Oh, okay, so it applies some smoothing around frequencies. That's nice. Channel length, left, right, cool. Attack release. So it's basically a compressor that operates at FFT level. So I'm assuming it's in 4096. It adds heaps of latency, by the way. So like 34, 35 millisecond of latency. So you probably wouldn't use this live. This would be something you would use just for processing samples. But yeah, it's bonkers. And it's €79. It is free. This one is free. This is the demo version. The demo version goes silent every 90 seconds. But if you're just using it to process samples, like that's fine. And in the README of it, they say they don't care if people register or not. Basically, yeah, the free version is, well, the demo version is essentially freeware, and go for it. Where did it install that to? Anyway, you'll have to take my word for that. But yeah, so they would prefer that you activate it and that you pay for it. But yeah, they're quite happy for you not to. These presets are interesting as well. I haven't figured out yet how to manipulate the curve. So these dots don't appear to do anything. Oh, there you go. I just figured it out. So you right click them to turn them on. So I guess you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 12 dots you can move around. And this, like, so I've seen, we use this one and we turn it into a low cut. Can we, yeah, more steep. Whoa. Have I put it on a weird setting? No, I don't think so. The yellow curve, when I was mucking around with it yesterday, it's changes which frequencies are affected by it. So you can see if it's all the way up, we only get this like upper region being affected. If we pull it all the way down, we get a lot more of the frequency spectrum. I don't really understand. So that's like the x-axis. I don't really understand the y-axis too much. I guess y is the amount. Maybe not. So yeah, anyway, I definitely don't understand this plugin perfectly yet. I don't even know if I ever will, but yeah. To me, that sounds actually better. Not quite what I wanted to do. I wanted to, oh yeah, duplicate, freeze, flatten. so we can see what's happening in here maybe. Yeah, cool. So it's obviously it's made it a little bit quieter overall. I feel like it's oh, I've got the plugin on to you can feel well, I can hear that there's like a in the original sound that just isn't there in this second one. It almost feels like it's been transient shaped. It's really cool. Actually, let's put a bass in there. What have we got in jams? Scissors. Yeah, let's see what happens when we process that. Sure. Oh, cool. It's detected the actual bass tone as part of it. So it's removing the actual bass tone. We want a faster release. Probably like less threshold would be good. Wow, so it's totally cleaned up the low mids. That sounds really woolly and not quite right. And then we turn it on. It just sounds all clear and nice. Anyway, I really wanted to play with that. I think it's pretty sick. I think I'll be mucking around with it for a few days yet. Yeah, cool. Let's wrap it there. But yeah, definitely check out DSEQ. Actually, I can drop a note of the address for that in the chat. The website definitely needs a bit of work. It's a bit hard to figure out where to grab stuff from. But yeah, there are download links on there. And if you download the demo version, you can muck around with it and clean up your samples. It's pretty sweet. That's an old one, man. That's 2018's baseline. All the new stuff's up in that folder. Like, what does it do to that? It even makes noise sound better. Sick little plugin. Yeah, cool. All right, I'm going to go eat some more food and then I'm going to do some videos. So keep your eyes peeled for that. Thanks for hanging out. It's awesome to get this stuff done early in the morning. Have a great weekend. There's no other admin crap to talk about. No. All right. Catch you in the Discords and thanks for hanging out and video Monday. Cheers, guys. Bye.